We have 10,000 troops ready to fight.
You know, it's pretty unique that we're going to be seeing locations and fighting battles from a Star Wars movie that's not even out because we can do it in a video game before the movie's released. Granted, we're just getting this DLC a day before the movie releases, but it's still pretty cool that I'm going to be able to see the Battle of Crait firsthand before I see it on the big screen. Anyway, this trailer actually shows us a lot of what's coming in this free DLC. We see the 4 new vehicles, the 3 new heroes, and a lot of gameplay of the Battle of Crait. I mean, you do have a couple of pretty pre-rendered shots here and there, but the majority of this trailer is actually gameplay. Not only that, but at the end of the trailer, we also got a preview of the single-player expansion pack, also releasing December 13th. Anyway, the map for the Battle of Crait is this enormous, huge, flat plain that looks like some kind of hell for infantry and a haven for specialists. If this gameplay is anything to go by, that's exactly what it is. This portion of the map is heavily in the First Order's favor as they have supremacy as far as ground-based vehicles are concerned, which is why you see these vein-like trenches running throughout the map, because the odds aren't entirely in the First Order's favor. The Resistance can use these trenches to hopefully attack these guerrilla walkers and maybe stop them from reaching the base. In other words, fighting guerrilla walkers with guerrilla warfare. If I had to guess, I'd say that these bunkers just before the base are going to serve the same role as the clone turbo tanks just before the Venator on the map of Kashyyyk. That objective is probably somewhere towards the end of the second phase, and the third phase would be inside of the base itself, which is where I'm guessing that this location is. This location could be beneath some of the bunkers, but I'm assuming that that's actually going to be somewhere in the base, judging by how heated the battle is and how many soldiers are actually taking part, but that could just be for a cool trailer shot. Obviously, one of the new vehicles is the Guerrilla Walker, otherwise known as the All-Terrain Mega Caliber 6. The ATM-6 is an artillery vehicle, meaning it is the objective, it's on rails. You're going to be able to control it just like the MTT and the AT-AT, but of course souped up with some First Order weapons. We also see a First Order variant of the AT-ST, which I'm assuming is going to have a different loadout than the Imperial AT-ST, maybe not. But it does look pretty neat, and I actually can't find a listing for this thing on Wikipedia. We've also got a new vehicle for the speeder class, the Resistance Ski Speeder. It's a low-altitude air speeder that's got a stabilizer strut to keep its balance when moving across alien terrain, and I think that's a little silly. In my opinion, what that strut is actually there for is to stir up some sand and dirt and create basically a rough fog of war, kind of like a big smoke bomb. And we can actually see in the gameplay that it does create a big wall of red dust that it's kind of hard to see past. I'm guessing this dust isn't going to last very long, but it's definitely going to obscure visibility for both teams. Seeing as this is a speeder class vehicle, it's probably not going to cost you a lot of battle points to use. It's probably going to have a fairly powerful weapon that's going to be difficult to aim, especially considering the speed of the vehicle, and it's not going to have a lot of health. But it's still pretty cool, even though you have a loathsome specialist class piloting it. Luckily, she does die spectacularly.
We have 10,000 troops ready to fight.
Don't let them shake you. Numbers aren't everything.
And yes, that is actually Gwendolyn Christie and John Boyega voicing their heroes, which is awesome to see. So, both of these are obviously blaster heroes, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Captain Phasma's gameplay, in terms of abilities, is going to be kind of akin to Leia or Iden Versio. I mean, she does command stormtroopers after all. It makes sense to think that she would have abilities that could buff them, aid them in combat. And I'm hoping we get a skin for Finn that matches his Last Jedi disguise as well. But that doesn't make an appearance in the trailer. We also have an extremely brief glimpse at the Battle of the Evacuation of Dakar. Dakar, of course, is the main Resistance base from The Force Awakens, and during the events of The Last Jedi, these aren't spoilers, don't worry, it was in the trailer, during the events of The Last Jedi, the Resistance evacuates Dakar because the First Order has learned of their presence, and days after the assault and destruction of Starkiller Base, the Resistance is evacuating Dakar and making their way to Crait, where they're going to establish a temporary headquarters. And aside from a brief look at the Starfighter assault map, we also get our first glimpse at the new hero, Tali Lintra, who pilots an RZ-2 A-Wing. We're getting an A-Wing hero, which is pretty cool because I really enjoy the Interceptor class. Anyway, this brings us to 3 good guy hero ships for the Resistance. We have Rey and Chewie's Millennium Falcon, we have Poe Dameron's Black One X-Wing, and now we have Tali Lintra's RZ-2 A-Wing, but the First Order only has Kylo Ren's TIE silencer. That's a little out of balance, in my opinion. I was hoping that the Resistance Heavy Bomber would be pilotable, but judging by its size, that would just be ridiculous. I'm gonna guess this is gonna be one of the objectives of the Starfighter Assault map. And finally, we have a little glimpse into the Freestore expansion pack that's going to be about the First Order. We see an old Iden Versio, who kind of looks like Anna Amari from Overwatch, and her daughter, which looks like she's dressed in Dell's jacket. And also we see that Shriv is returning. It seems like Shriv, Iden Versio's daughter, and Iden Versio are going to be infiltrating the First Order, or at least trying to steal some information about them. And that's pretty much all we know. But a highlight is we are going to be seeing, old Leia. General Leia. Well, to me, she's royalty. But yeah, I'm really excited for The Last Jedi, and I'm really excited for this season of DLC. It looks great, not to mention the fact that we're also getting a lot of events to take part in as well, like choosing your faction if you're fighting for the Resistance or the glorious First Order. But stay tuned, as I'm going to have some very special videos on The Last Jedi DLC very soon. So if you're like me and you're a big fan of gaming and Star Wars, subscribe, join our YouTube family. But until next time, may the Force be with you. Always.